Good morning. It is AM Tampa Bay with Jack Harris and Ted Webb. And this is our English-speaking segment because we're joined now by the maestro, Michael Francis, the Florida Orchestra music director.
With the music Werewolves of London in the background.
Well, good morning to you both and a very happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Michael. How are you?
I'm fine, and you? Did you have a lovely Christmas?
Quiet.
Quiet.
It was
Quiet one.
We've been talking here prior to going on the air, and Michael, your English is just getting better and better.
Well, I have to keep improving, you see, because I keep hearing your golden voice everywhere in Tampa, so I've got stiff competition.
But that is. What have you got going on big now?
Well, we have a lovely concert this week. This weekend we're going to be performing Saint-Saëns Organ Symphony. You may not think you know the piece, but if you've seen the film Babe, about the talking pig, do you remember that?
Sure.
It became the theme tune of that. It's one of the great symphonies to hear because, as you can probably guess, it has an organ in it. So it starts off very gently and it ends up in the final acceleration and excitement of this piece is one of the most thrilling things you can hear in a concert hall. With the organ at full pelt, it's like a jumbo jet taking off. It is just thrilling music. So that's what we have going on this weekend. And in fact, we're doing one of our first concerts in Daytona Beach. As part of our state residency program, we're looking to sort of take the orchestra to venues where they don't necessarily have a full-time orchestra and just to share the love. After all, it is 2017. So we're going to be doing that, and we're performing the Saint-Saëns Organ Symphony, as likewise we'll be in St. Petersburg on Saturday and Clearwater on Sunday. Alongside that, we have a Grammy-winning violinist playing a spectacular piece by a French composer called Lalo, the Symphonie Espagnole, which is one of the most virtuosic pieces you'll ever hear. It's sort of like Paganini, but on speed. It's just thrilling. So if you love to see the pyrotechnics of a musician at the top of their game, you should hear this young violinist. He is spectacular. So that's going to be a wonderful concert. And we're very excited to be going to Daytona Beach for our first concert there in many, many years. I mean, after all, we are the Florida Orchestra.
That's right.
And even though our heart and base is in Tampa Bay, we like to pop out and share it with other places as well.
Yeah, that's a great gig. So all of the musicians are going to be coming from here. I mean, your people are going to be going over there and doing the whole thing, right?
Exactly, yes. I mean, it's not quite far enough that we're staying on tour as such, but we'll go there, do the concert, and come back. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love Daytona Beach. When I was in the London Symphony Orchestra, we had a residency there, so I got to know all the bars there and on Froggy's Bar and these places.
Oh, yes.
My daughter lives there.
Does she?
Oh, yeah. She's a nurse at the Halifax Medical Center.
Well, I didn't go to Froggy's Bar so much that I needed to see a nurse, so that's good news.
I was going to say, I've spent a lot of time, I haven't lived there, but I've spent a lot of time at Froggy's Bar as well, so I know it well, for sure.
Great fun. It's great fun.
Yeah. Having watched these rehearsals, and, of course, Aaron was with me one time, and then I took my wife up there one time, and it's mind-boggling how routine everybody makes it look down there. It's like turn a page and start something else and boom, boom, boom. And watching the violinists and everything, then all of a sudden, boom, everybody's on the same page and everything.
Yeah, I think that what you're saying is right, because actually an orchestra needs to be seen and not just heard, because it is spectacular how quickly so many musicians can come together and play microscopically precise. I mean, within a microsecond, they are absolutely on it. And to see that amount of concentration, energy, and how the music inspires us is really, really thrilling. And I think you never get that just from the radio. You never get it just from a CD. But when you go to a concert and see it, it's really astounding. You were referring to when your wife came, Joy, she came to hear Beethoven's Ode to Joy.
Ode to Joy.
I know, that's what we call personal karaoke just for her.
Jack told her you wrote that just for her.
I did, Ted, and unfortunately he believed me.
But are these people full-time musicians?
Yes, they are. They're full-time.
They almost have to be.
They are, and they're highly trained. Our orchestra is full of musicians who trained at Curtis, at Juilliard. We have some from the Beijing Conservatoire. I'm from the Royal Academy of Music in London. So we have some of the most highly trained musicians in the world playing here in Tampa Bay, full-time for you in the Tampa Bay community. So, in fact, in one of our concerts coming up is featuring our new principal oboe, John Upton. And he's a phenomenal young musician. and just one of the new faces of the orchestra. We love how we balance the experienced musicians who've been there, some of them for decades, alongside some young talent as well. In fact, last night I just appointed a new principal horn. Of course, that's one of the biggest seats of the orchestra. A tremendous musician called David Smith. So
now, which one is that?
The principal French horn.
Oh, the French horn.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, so John Upton will be performing a concert on the 21st and 22nd in St. Petersburg and Clearwater, playing Mozart's Oboe Concerto with our principal guest conductor, Stuart Moline. And that's a beautiful program as well. Mendelssohn, I think there's a bit of Brahms in there, all sorts of lovely things. But he's a real shining light.
What do you do when they have a guest conductor?
What do I do? I'm usually in another orchestra, actually. So yeah, I tend to go and guest conduct. Next week I'm in Toronto. Then I think I'm going to be in Norway.
Oh.
So I sort of travel around, and all conductors, we sort of do half our time with one orchestra, then we all guest conduct. So every Sunday, somewhere around the world, we all shift position. We never see each other, ever. It's rather
we always
peculiar.
talk about guest conductors here, and the others do the same. And
They
it's
do the
Michael
same.
Francis from
That's
the
right.
Florida Orchestra who's going to be there.
Exactly.
One other quick thing while we still have time here. The happy hour concerts that they have at the Straz Center, you got free drinks and snacks, and, of course, the music. Concert's just an hour long, no intermission, and then you get to mingle with the musicians, and it's all for only $35. And that sounds like a great opportunity.
Well, it's not bad when you consider it's a free bar. Yes, it's to really encourage a more relaxed concert after work. Come and hear this wonderful music, relax, meet musicians, meet each other. Of course, we want it to be a real meeting place for everyone. Listen to wonderful music in a very relaxed environment, presented by the conductors in a very enjoyable environment.
Well, you can keep up with what the Florida Orchestra is doing, and Michael Francis, what he's doing, by going to floridaorchestra.org, floridaorchestra.org. And, Michael, thanks for stopping by again.
Thank you, Jack.
And, of course, it's going to end up in a video because we got cameras and we got lights and everything in here.
And I see you're wearing your fancy Tampa Bay Buccaneers 1976 T-shirt, so thank you for that.
That was my son's Christmas gift to me.
Oh,
So
there we go.
I have to wear it.
Can I just say that is a vintage year, 1976?
Oh, yes, that was a vintage year, 0 and 14. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Jack.